Now, I know buying a new car is very fun. The new car smell, having a new car in your driveway, all that. But let me tell you about the advantages you get when you buy an older car as opposed to a newer car. Number one, you can buy a proven car. And to prove my point, I have this article from 2019 about Honda's popular turbo engine causing problems. And it involves the 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. And the problem is that this engine tends to seep gasoline into the engine oil for various reasons. But my point is that if you bought this vehicle brand new, and you're buying a Honda, right? You think you're going to buy a car that's really reliable, Honda, Toyota, top of the reliability food chain, you would be buying a problematic car. Instead, when you buy a 4-year-old car, a 5-year-old car, a 6-year-old car, a 7-year-old car, you can see if that vehicle is a proven vehicle. Are there any major problems with it? So that's number one. You can buy a proven car. Number two, parts are cheaper. So the great thing about having a car that's maybe 5 years old or older is that the aftermarket is now cranking out parts for it. Okay, and you may say, well, Tom, I don't want to buy aftermarket parts for my car. And I say, fine, don't buy aftermarket parts. But the aftermarket parts make the OEM parts cheaper, okay? Because there's more parts available, it drives the price down. So that's the good thing about having a 5-year-old car or older, is that you're going to be able to take advantage of the aftermarket parts, either directly by purchasing aftermarket parts or indirectly by the aftermarket parts driving down the cost of the OEM parts. Number three, cars that are 5 years old or older, cheaper to insure. When a car gets to be old enough, 7 years old, 8 years old, you can just have liability only on the car if you want. You don't even have to have comprehensive. So cheaper to insure. Number four, a car that has 5 years, 6 years, 7 years on it generally doesn't have a warranty on it anymore. So what that means is you don't have to worry about complying with the warranty. So for example, when we had our Kia and we bought it as a 3-year-old with like 29,000 miles on it, when we first bought it, we bought it used. For the first couple of years we owned it, it was under warranty. And so when I would do an oil change, I had to document everything and I had to keep receipts and all this kind of stuff. Now that the car is no longer under warranty, I don't have to worry about that. Now, granted, sure, I would love for it to be under warranty, but as long as it's not under warranty, I don't have to worry about all the warranty documentation stuff. So that's kind of nice. Number five, you're going to be able to take advantage of the knowledge base and forums for your particular car. And the great news about going to an individual knowledge base forum for your vehicle is usually if you're having problems with the car, somebody else has already had that problem with the car, and they can give you some insight as to what's going on and how you can fix it for cheap. Number six, when you buy a used car, you get it with all the options that you want, and you're really not going to pay that much more for it, frankly. I mean, if you get a loaded up car with leather, sunroof, navigation, all the bells and whistles that you want, you're really not going to pay that much more if the car is 6 years or 7 years old than you would if you got a comparable one and it was more of a base model. So that's a good thing too. Number seven, the overall cost of the car to buy is much cheaper because you're taking advantage of depreciation. Somebody bought that thing for $30,000 new, and now you're buying it as a 7-year-old for, I don't know, $9,000, $8,000. In other words, cheaper to buy. Number eight, if you were to damage the vehicle, let's say you're working on it, or let's say you accidentally run into something. If you damage the vehicle, you're not going to be crying as hard. And what I mean by that is, let's say your car's worth $5,000 and you significantly damage it, okay? Yes, you're going to be disappointed. Yes, you're going to be kicking yourself. And yes, you're going to call yourself an idiot. But compare that to severely damaging a $50,000 new car, one that's like 3 or 4 months old, right? Now you're really going to feel like an idiot, and you're going to be feeling it in the pocketbook too. Number nine, you won't be the one going back and forth to the dealership. And what I mean by that is usually when a car is brand new, it's going to come with factory defects. Nothing major, but sunroof motors are going to be defective. light switches are going to be defective, electrical relays might be defective, certain LED lights will be defective and won't work correctly. These are all things that aren't major deals, okay, but they have to be fixed by the dealer under warranty. And I think the average new car requires probably 3 to 4 trips to the dealership to get these things repaired in the first 3 years of ownership. Well, that's going to be something that somebody else does, not you. By the time that you get the car, okay, it's going to have all those things ironed out. And as long as it's not a lemon, has a good Carfax report, you know, all that stuff, you're going to be in a good position. And this is especially true if you do a compression test and you have a mechanic really go through it with a fine-tooth comb and you make sure it's really a good car before you put down your money. And number 10, you are not going to take a big depreciation hit. What I mean by that is, you know, somebody bought that car for $30,000 new, and 6 or 7 years later, it's worth like $8,000, right? Well, that loss of value, that loss of $22,000, that's not coming out of your pocket. So if you buy that car as a 7-year-old car for $8,000, okay, and it's in good condition, paint's good, engine's good, transmission is good, everything's good. In 5 years, if you drive that car for 5 years, you're not going to take that much of a depreciation hit because you bought it for 8. Maybe after 5 years, it's worth, I don't know, $5,000, $4,500. So you're talking about a very small depreciation hit. And that's when you're winning. That's when you're getting ahead in life. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share these top 10 reasons, my top 10 reasons why I think a used car or an older car is in many ways better than a new car. And I just wanted to share this with you. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.